Welcome along to Funky Junk. We're going to show you lots of things you can make from recyclable materials, all that stuff that sometimes ends up in your bin. You'd be surprised at the things you can make. Fun things for you to enjoy at home.
Now today we're all about the great outdoors, and I'm going to show you how to make a present for your friendly neighbourhood birds. And it's very simple. All you need is an old used milk carton, an empty one, preferably a plastic one, and decorate it and make it all pretty for your birds outside so that they can eat from it. Now Mama's going to show you how to cut, very carefully, how to cut out the little hole in the side for them to get in and out.
A hole in the centre by sticking a scissor through, or something nice and sharp like a pencil. Now don't cut yourself doing that, and if you prefer, Mum or Dad might help you, or an adult at home. And then you're going to cut some little V's in, the way you cut up an apple tart. So you go round and round, slit it nice like that, and that'll make it much easier to cut. Make sure to have rinsed your lovely container first of all. Rinse it out and have it nice and smelling nice and fresh, because otherwise stale milk does not smell very good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to proceed here and cut it just around. You see how easy it is. It goes around very, very easily. And sometimes I save those flakes to make little leaves and stuff, the pieces that are actually falling off, would you believe? You'd be surprised at all the things you can use when you're using Funky Junk. So there you go, and it's going round and round the garden, as they say. That's that side of it. Now the birds would sometimes like to come along, and they might go in there and have a little munch.
A feast.
A feast, yeah. And they also, you can put water into this as well and make it a little drinks feed for them, where they can just go
or
in.
a little bath. Sometimes they like to take a bath.
Oh, they love the bath as well. So Kelly, you're going to make some leaves for this to decorate it.
I have a little bit of contact tape here actually that you put inside. Sometimes you put inside your cupboards at home with the cups and stuff in them, and this one happens to be brown, which is very handy because it'll go for a nice theme with what I've got going on here. I have picked some pines from the garden that give it a nature kind of look to it, so that the birds are attracted to it. They love leaves and anything to do with that reminds them of the trees and their natural habitat. So what I've done here is I've folded the contact tape just like this into little layers, so that when I drew on a little shape of a leaf here, that more than one leaf comes out. So you're saving yourself some time and effort so that you're not cutting them all out individually. So I'm just going to cut this around nicely here.
That's a good
again,
idea.
be very careful with the scissors at home as well, because don't cut yourselves. That's the last thing we want. Now, I'm going to peel this off.
That's the hard part.
That is the hard part.
You need very long nails to do that. You do. You need long nails for that.
Yes,
Are you managing? Good.
Success. You wouldn't want to be biting your nails too much at home, would you? Now. It's stuck on nicely there, nice and neat. And the good thing about contact tape is it's actually waterproof. I wouldn't recommend using actual paper for this, because if it rains, like it does a lot here in Ireland, it will get soaked and soggy and it would come off. So I'd recommend sticking to this.
Right,
this kind
so
of
I'm going to
material.
give you this one then, Kelly, and you can stick on your leaves on it and get started.
Great stuff. Okay.
And in the meantime, I'm just cutting plain strips here to decorate it with, to put around the side, so it doesn't look too plain and doesn't look too much just like an old milk bottle container.
Now I've put some bread in here into this. These are the little things that you get. Sometimes you get mandarin oranges and they have this little netting around it. Fruit, like lemons or limes or anything like that. Now I have wire here as well somewhere. I'm going to show you how to fasten this. Now I'm just going to tie it around like that. You see the little holes there? The birds will make their way through that and pick away at it, and they'll have a field day. So I'm just going to wrap the wire around the top of this to secure it. And do you see the handle of the milk carton here? I'm going to just put it around here so that it just can hang nicely at the side.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's just handy for them to get at. You could have a 2-in-1 thing going on, where you have the food at the side here instead of in here, and you could have the water in the actual jug itself. So now that's fastened there now. So you see how it's coming along, you get the idea. Okay.
But But one of the tricks is that if you just tear it a little bit at the top, the actual, just very gently, the actual plastic section will stay intact and the other piece of paper will rip. It'll tear a little bit, so then that makes it easier. You can peel it off then, and it's a very worthwhile tip because it can drive you mad sometimes trying to do it. So there you are, Kelly. I'll pass that over to you.
Excellent.
Before I peel it completely off.
Decorate the bottom of the milk carton. This is going to stick nicely now, I hope. Or yeah, great, around the bottom, just to give a bit of colour and kind of the wooden effect actually this one is giving. It'll be finished now in a sec. Great stuff. Now, and smooth it down nicely there. You might be able to cut that little bit there, this side, so the birds can get in nicely there. That's great. Now it's just roughly done there to show you how the steps and how to make it pretty and nice for the birds so that they're attracted to it. And when you're hanging it up as well, hang it up nice and high in one of the trees so that the birds aren't attacked by any, wandering dogs or cats in the area. And they want to feel safe when they're eating out and dining out in their new restaurant. So that's just to show you how the steps and how to get your finished product, which is something like this. And obviously if you find anything else in your garden like these pines, or you might want to attach some dried flowers or something to it, just so that the birds feel nice and at home and safe and sound in their new eating out restaurant. Oh, we have a visitor in the studio, do we? Is he chirping away mad there? That's our residential bird in the studio. Now we're off to Lochshiny National School to find out more about how they recycle all their fantastic things down there.
I have a bit of advice I need. I have a new compost bin and I've been putting all kinds of things into it, but I'm not quite sure when I can use the stuff, what exactly to put in and what not to put in. So I thought maybe you could help me. Aideen, have you got any advice? First of all, what should I put in to my compost bin?
Well, like leftovers, sort of like some fruit and like leftover fruit, and you put it into your compost, and then you wait until that like turns into stuff for your garden.
Okay.
And helps grows the plants and stuff.
And can I peel the potatoes and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, and you can put like the peels of potatoes and stuff into the compost bin.
Excellent. What should I not put into my compost bin, Sinead?
Like crisp wrappers and chicken or chicken bones.
Why would I not put those in?
Because they're meant to go in the black bin.
What is the black bin for?
For like crisp wrappers.
Yeah, that's for all that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, in other words, I shouldn't really put cooked food into the compost bin. Is that right? Yeah. Would that spoil the whole breakdown of it?
Yeah.
And what exactly happens then inside the bin? Do you know what happens in there? Do you know, Cian?
It turns into soil and it helps your trees grow, and you spread it around the trees.
Oh, excellent. Is there any way of speeding up that to make it happen faster? Can you put any things in?
No, I don't think so. You have to wait until...
You wait, you poke it about with a stick or anything inside from time to time?
No.
Just let it sit as is, do nothing? That sounds like magic to me. And when do I know, when it's ready? How do I know that I can use it straight away in the garden or whatever? How long does it take?
Well, like you can keep checking it sometimes and just look, because they like the dado peels, you'd know if they were like turned in, because they might be down at the bottom maybe, and they wouldn't like really look like them. They'd sort of go like turn into soil.
They turn into soil, do they?
You know what they look like soil.
So you open this little flap at the bottom, you have a look in and you check it and see.
If there's soil there.
Yeah, so you could take out a couple of scoops. Could you, Cian?
Yeah.
So have you actually gone then, Cian, and taken this out and used it in your garden here at the school?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What do you do?
Well, it's behind the shed.
Yeah.
And we took it and we spread it around the trees that are packy. And we put it around it. And
Great.
They started to grow faster.
Oh wow, that's brilliant. What a fantastic excitement that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, have you planted new trees yourselves or any vegetables or anything here?
Yeah, we've planted vegetables.
What vegetables have you planted? This is fantastic.
Planting carrots or something.
Yeah.
Carrots. This is something new. Up until now, has it been lettuce and things like that?
Yeah.
So you're always trying out something different, are you?
Yeah.
What's your favourite thing to plant, Cian?
Well, we planted daffodils about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, fantastic. And they came up lovely, did they?
Yeah.
What was it like when you started seeing the little heads coming up from the ground?
Well, they were half grown already.
Are they?
I just put them in the ground.
Oh, so you planted them in just to, and spurred them on with this compost that you're making and everything. And tell me, this is all the school interested in this?
Yeah.
Do people come and have a look and see how things are going?
Yeah.
And do your parents come in sometimes and you're to have a little look when they're in visiting the
Yeah,
teachers?
sometimes.
That's
Maybe
great. And would you know how to do this at home now yourselves? You feel quite confident?
Yeah.
And you might be getting new tools and all that and starting your own gardens and everything.
Yeah.
That sounds great to me. I think I'll just have a try.
Hi, I'm here with Rebecca and Rian, and they're here to tell me about what the lovely artwork they've done. They've made a tree out of this fabulous paper, and Rebecca's going to tell me exactly how they did it, aren't you, Rebecca?
Yeah. We got some sticky tape and we made a tree, and then we used sponges, and we put brown paint for the soil, and then we put green paint for the grass, and blue for the sky, and then orange and yellow for the leaves. And then a day later, when it was all dry, we had to take the tape off, and then we got a tree.
Very good. And did you all use the same colours? Or did you vary them?
I think some of us used different colours for the leaves.
Lovely.
We used different ones. It was just like Miss Byrne didn't mind what colours we used once gave off the autumn effect.
Fabulous. And there's a lovely autumn effect there with the lovely oranges and yellows in the tree there. Did you go a bit mad with the colours, or?
No, I just kept to what the rest of them were doing.
Funky junk, funky junk.
It was great fun, and we learned so much about composting and all those different things that they're doing at the school. They're doing a great job growing their own vegetables and so on. It was a marvellous day out.
Keep up the good work, guys. Now I'm going to show you, sticking to our theme today of the great outdoors, I'm going to show you a lovely picture that we've made. There's a lovely outdoor scene going on here with the sheep jumping over fences and stuff. Now there's a good number of materials that you need for this. First, I'm going to show you the handle of this, which is probably the least important part, but anyway, it's made from a potato sack that, you know, I'm sure you all have spuds at home. It's one of my favourite foods personally, but just like a little strip of that is what we've used to hold this up together. Of course, a big piece of cardboard as well, which is one of the main parts of it as well. Now the little paper material that you see here is actually from shoe boxes. I'm sure you all have at one stage bought some new shoes with the tissue paper inside the box. Save that in future and you'll be able to make one of these. Now the sheep itself, they're made from obviously cardboard as well, as you can see from behind, and the little plastic things that we've used here to make them jump out at you, as you can see they shake rather nicely like that there now. These, the plastic is used from actually from shirts, you know, the inside of shirt, the collars. My dad treated himself to a shirt during the week, so I just pinched this from the inside. The collar keeps the collar straight. Now you can get plastic from anywhere really, from containers and everything, but these are nice and ideal because they're shaped, you know, that you can bend them in any way, shape or form. That's one of the materials. Again, the black that you see here is actually plastic as well, similar to a container that we have here that we use for the paints. Now, if you don't have black plastic containers like that, you can use paper. There's no problem. Black paper is easy to come by. As you can see here, we've made little fences for the sheep because we don't want them to escape and run away on the farmer. So we've used lollipop sticks for those, and you can paint them all different kinds of colours that you want to use. They don't have to be brown. You know, most fences are brown, but fences can be boring when they're brown, so I say paint them whatever colour you want. So Mom is going to show you now how to make the sheep, the start of it, and then later on I'm going to show you how to do this grass effect here using bubble wrap and also some wool and cardboard.
Right, well, this is very funny here because all you need to really cut out, first of all, is a little sort of a cloud shape. Just get your pen and wiggle it around here on a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, a little cloud floating in the sky, and that's just going to be the main body of the sheep. Then you'll cut it around and you'll get a nice effect. Now, I've used, even though there's coloured paper on this side here, don't worry, it doesn't have to be plain white cardboard because you can actually cover this with the wool and just to cover it all up, and use old, you know, packets, old containers, just anything at all will do. It doesn't have to be extra special. Now, one of the things I most recommend for you to do is to get your boing, boing, boing bit going on. First of all, staple in your little piece of plastic first of all before you stick on the wool, because if you do, it's hard to press through the wool. You can still do it, but you don't want a big staple sticking up the front of it if you can hide it at all. So staple on your piece of plastic, and that's just cut out of a box, and staple it on to your little piece of cardboard, and then start. Now, you're going to put your wool on this side of the cardboard because that's a nice white piece and we want it to stay white in the background. So get your piece of nice PVA glue here and just dollop on a little bit. So just put it on very nicely around the card itself and cover all the edges, because otherwise you'll have little bits of red sticking out the side. This is the glue here all around, and you can pull off your little pieces of wool. You'll have it done in no time, and just pull them out nice and apart from each other. See, my hands are nearly sticking already, and stick them on like that in little patches around the edges first to make sure that they're all covered until you have it completely covered all around. Now, all the whole sides of that. When you have it all covered completely, you just sit it over to one side and you're going to let that dry. Now, in the meantime then, you need to put a head on your little sheep, and as Kelly said a while ago, you can use black plastic, as I did in these ones here, out of a black plastic container, something like that, but you don't need to do that. You can use just an ordinary piece of plastic card, and this card can be something that you found in a shoebox. It can be just a piece of card that you had left over from a school project, whatever. Now, you're going to just cut 4 little skinny legs, and I love this because they're dead easy to do. And you know what I've done sometimes? Cut one fat one and one thin one just to add a bit of variety. And the legs are going to go willy-nilly all over the place as the sheep jumps over the fence. The next thing we have to do is cut out a little sort of a shape for the face, and I'll cut that in half again just so that we have a little small kind of a rectangle. Cut out a little face, and each little face can be different. I don't do these all in a row by folding the paper. I just like to make little individual sort of sheep faces and make a little roundy bit for the head at the top. So you have something like that, and that's really cute. That's quite nice there. Now, you've got that, you've got your legs, and the only thing that's missing, those 4 legs are there. The only thing that's missing are the little ears. If you want to really not waste your paper, you can use a little piece like that, because the ears are very tiny, and you just kind of make a little half moon shape for the ears. Cut them around and they'll come out all funny and great. So that's all your little pieces that you need together, and then you stick them onto your sheep. So as you see, there's a little bit on the top there. I'm going to have him all kind of jumping all over the place, going mad, going ballistic, this fella here is. And to show that he's jumping over the fence, I'm sure you've counted sheep at night when you can't go to sleep. You can make the legs stick out like that, like he's going haywire. And he's all delighted with life in general. So we put another little bit of glue there just to make sure all that sticks and the new wool sticks on. And his legs are there. And watch what happens as we go along here. Here he goes. Now, the next bit is a fun bit because the head is going to go on, and there's the little head. And in actual fact, to be quite honest with you, when you're using paper like this, the black paper, it really does stick a lot easier than the plastic. But the plastic is nice because it's lovely and shiny, and it gives them a wee kind of a shiny face effect. So there he is, and he's all cute and gorgeous, and his head is all tucked into the wool now. And all we've got to do is stick on these ears, and as I said, one of them is kind of sticking up because it got caught in the wind as he's jumping the fence, and the other one here is just going out askew to the other side. So there's his
He's
little
looking
head.
well now, isn't he?
There he is, adorable. He's got 2 brothers here, or else his wife and new baby. There they are. Now, what we're going to do now is you can buy these little eyes in art shops and all that. They're little eyes, and you'll see now they're going to poke on, they move around, and they add a lovely bit of movement because because these sheep can actually have movement as they spring across the fence, you just stick them on, and sometimes when you're sticking on the eyes, you can get different effects from sticking on eyes depending on what way you put them. Now we put these a little bit close together, and he'll have a kind of a bewildered look. He'll kind of be looking like, I don't know if I can jump this fence or not, I'm not quite sure. So there's his legs, and as I said, be careful because my hands are kind of sticking to it.
Now all you need for this, folks, at home is a piece of cardboard, just a small little thin one. I've folded over here, left over from a cereal box. I'm sure you all eat cereal at home. I hope you do anyway, because it's good for you. And a piece of wool as well. I'm sure maybe Nan does some knitting or some crochet and has some wool at home. And all you need to do is wrap this wool very kind of loosely, but like tie it first, like roughly, like not a knot as such, but just a little loose tie there now, and then just wrap it around the cardboard, so it just kind of has that like little effect to it, but like separate it out nicely. Don't have it too clumped together, so that you have a nice effect there. And then tuck the wool in the back like that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to get my paintbrush here. I'm going to paint the wool green, just for the grass. And it gives a nice effect, because you know the way when you just paint the grass itself, it may not look as cool and as stalky, because grass itself isn't set, doesn't always. Okay, now I'm just going to show you, just press it down onto the paper like that. Do you see the little tufts of grass? Because grass can be very uneven. It's not always even like you see in some pictures. And just keep painting on more green paint onto it until you've covered most of the picture, like that. And see that effect? That comes out nicely there, doesn't it, Mum?
Oh, that's lovely. That's great.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Now, another effect I'm going to show you is actually bubble wrap. And I'm sure you all have bubble wrap at home somewhere as well. And I don't know about you, but I love popping the bubbles at home. It's one of my favourite things to do with bubble wrap. So I'm going to show you now with another paintbrush. I have a little bit of orange paint here just to show you a variety of the flowers, because I'm sure sheep love to eat grass as well, but they like a bit of variety in their diet, like us at home, and they eat the flowers. So I've just painted over some of the bubble wrap like that. We're going to just dab it like that around. So you get two different looks and two different textures going on in the paper. And again, keep reapplying the paint onto the bubble wrap, and just so that it's nice and clear, the colour. And that's just roughly to show you on the paper there, but as I said, use the tissue paper. Yeah, it's good. It's
that's
good
really good.
Use the tissue paper from the shoe boxes, and it'll come out even clearer on the white rather than the kind of the coloured paper we've got going on there.
Now, Kelly had this earlier on. She had a little bit of a potato bag, and I think she got some organic potatoes because they came very nicely in this lovely string thing that can be reused and recycled. And what we're going to do is she used the top of it, and I'm going to match the bottom of it just to add in a nice little effect and link it all up so the picture links from top to bottom. And it's just going to entail something very, very simple. Now, Kelly, I'm going to put the glue on.
Okay.
And I see that all my little, here's a brush here for glue. That'll do, and it's nice and sticky. I used it earlier on. There's a little bit of sheep's wool on it, but that's all right. That'll add into the effect of it here. Now what we're going to do is now dollop on a good bit of glue for this, because this stuff here is quite strong and it needs to be flattened down. So make your PVA glue nice and thick and just wallop it on like that, nice and fast, and go to the very edges. And we love this. This is a cheerful picture, and everybody likes a picture like this. It doesn't matter what age you are. You just enjoy that. Now, Kelly, I'll get you to hold that there. And what I'll do is, from the outside as well, I'll just stick on an extra little piece of glue. Now, you see there, it's happening. Now, that's a little bit of a hard piece there because it's foldy. It was curved up. So what we'll do is we'll add that into it
until
for now.
It dries.
Until it dries.
Good stuff.
And you could actually run your pieces, your little bits of pins there along the whole way until it dries, because they will slip off very easily afterwards.
The sheep look like they're having a great old time there, don't they?
They're lovely. I think they're really nice. And the fact that, some of them have fat faces, some of them have thin faces.
They're all different characters.
They are really, aren't they? They're just individual sheep. They're
Now, I'm sure all of you at home have a green bin at home that you put all your recyclable materials into, such as plastics, metal, tin cans, paper, magazines, all those kind of things. You probably wonder where they go. It goes to this big warehouse, this recyclable warehouse, and it goes into a big container, and from that container it goes up on a big conveyor belt. And on the when it goes up the conveyor belt, it's separated into 3 or 4, I think, 4 different sections: cardboard, paper, plastic, and metal.
So there we've got our little sheep jumping over the fence.
Looking mighty fine all together. Well, that's all we have for you today on today's programme of Funky Junk. So from me, Kelly, goodbye.
And from me, Lucia, bye.
See you later.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.